Hi, I'm Harry Hild. I'm a freshman at Harvard College, and I'm a staff writer for the HPR. For this spring issue, I wrote about the NFL, specifically safety issues that the league was facing concerning recent findings in the medical community with regards to concussions, head trauma, and what prompted the article initially was the study, the $100 million study funded by the NFL Players Association, which was done in coordination with the Harvard Medical School. So that's where we started, and I did research on those findings, on what was happening in the NFL with regards to rule changes and safety hazards in general, and that kind of morphed into what direction the NFL was taking in the face of these hazards. In the end, I concluded, I guess, that the medical community was still finding the answers to a lot of the questions. There's a lot of awareness. There are a lot of high-profile cases of players actually, committing suicide, or players donating their brains to be studied after their death. And there were some disturbing things being found by. I talked to a researcher at Boston University Medical School, Christine Ball, and she was telling me about what they've been finding, but they haven't established enough link yet to start. They don't have all the data, and so there's a lot of awareness. There's a lot of changes being made already, but people are calling this the death of football, and my thesis, I guess, was that I don't think so. It's not. We don't have enough information yet, and football is too deeply ingrained in the national consciousness that it's not the death of football. I'd say my most interesting interview was with Carl Eller, the president of the Retired Players Association. He kind of illuminated for me at the end of the interview. He said a comment that really kind of changed my mind. I was fresh off the interview with Christine, with hearing about all these horrible things that were happening, the horrible things they were finding, and then he kind of said, player safety is paramount. We agree with that across the sport, across the NFL, the Players Associations, but that we don't want to see the spirit of the game changed. And I think that's, and it was interesting to hear that conviction from someone who, the Retired Players Association is very on the side of players, and players' interest in this case could be seen as changing the rules in a definitive way. Another great interview I had was with Coach Tim Murphy, the Harvard football coach, and he kind of illuminated into that awareness that's spreading through the sport. He started with, back in my day, back when he played football, there was this warrior mentality with regards to injuries, especially concussions. They called, getting your bell rung, like it was a normal part of the game. Rub some dirt on it and get back in there. But he said today there's almost a complete pendulum swing to the opposite side. There's a lot of. He said players are almost hypersensitive to this kind of injuries, and he said that's the best problem to have. But that players were going to the athletic trainer for injuries that actually that weren't concussions. And he also, I guess, he helped me reach the end of the conclusion that I did in terms of football. Football is going to survive, because he talked about why the sport was so popular, why players and spectators loved it so much. And the quote I really liked was that he said that it's tough to explain why if you haven't played football, it's tough to explain what the appeal is if you haven't watched it, and if you have, there usually is a need to. I hope you enjoyed the spring issue of the Harvard Political Review.